Points, 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 points. Hello, everyone. My name is KJ. I'm with Passport Club. I am a travel agent, but today I'm going to play it as I'm a consumer and a consumer that actually loves using points to book travel, especially when it comes to airlines or even hotels. So I'm going to kind of give you a rough overview of some of the things that I do, and then also how to accumulate more points that will hopefully help you to be able to travel either for free or at least at a nice discounted rate. So I'm going to get ready to walk you through this. So let's start here.
So this right here is a jam board, and this is going to allow me just to kind of throw some stuff out there as I'm talking, and kind of also stay on track. But I also wanted to give you guys like a visual of everything that I'm going to talk about. So why are we talking about points? Well, I've had a few discussions with people, and a lot of times they don't have frequent flyer mile accounts for airlines that they fly. They don't have hotel rewards set up, and they may not even have resorts, set up. So one thing that I kind of wanted to make sure that everybody understood how you get points, how you use points, and why it's very important that you actually set these accounts up. So the the importance of setting up these particular accounts is because with a lot of these companies, the points may not expire for a year or never expire. The best example I can give you, because I use this as like the primary airline that I fly, is Delta. Delta points don't expire. So I could take a flight today, or I could take a flight 2 years from today, and all those points will just be sitting there in a bucket. And I will have access to use those points to eventually be able to buy a flight for free, go somewhere for free. So this is kind of the reason why points are so important, because for all the people that say, well, it's not really in my budget right now, but maybe you take a flight or a trip once a year. Eventually, you could splurge and take one really big trip, or you can take maybe two trips in a year because you have enough points built up that could potentially pay for your hotel, or it could potentially pay for your flight, or it could just give you upgrades. And then you could just have like that once in a lifetime lavish flight, sitting in like Delta One, or, somebody's first class or business class. So that's why I wanted to present this to everybody and just kind of like walk through the ways that you get the points, and then of course how you can spend the points. So let's start off with flights and hotels. It's easy enough, right? You stay, you get points. You fly, you get points. True, but if you go with, say, a third party, you may not receive any points. So, third parties. Generally, what does this mean to you? Okay. So, your third party could be a company that is offering you a flight that is $10 cheaper than basic economy when you actually go to like the airline website, right? Okay. You're probably not going to get points because you did not book it through the airline itself. So, you're not going to get points. Another way that you will not get points is booking the lowest fare you find on the website. So, with this being said, you want to make sure that you pay attention to the rules of that said company, flights, airlines, or hotels. Okay. A lot of times they will say that this particular room or flight is non-refundable, and you will not receive any points for booking this, because they're giving you a discounted fee, or yeah, a discounted fee, and that's all they're giving you. So you basically have your turn to get on the plane, and that's all you're going to get from it. You're not going to accumulate any points. You're not going to be able to like move that over to like trying to get status or anything like that. So you really want to be mindful with that. But if you have the extra $10, and however much the difference is, keep that in mind, because I'll give you here's a good example of this. I live in Atlanta. If I'm going to Nashville, I may just go ahead and take the cheapest flight. Like if it's a difference of like $50, yeah, I'll probably go ahead and take it because it's not going to give me a bunch of points. Now, if I'm going to Nashville for business all the time, then you know what? Then maybe I will go ahead and try to pay the main cabin or whatever it is so I can make sure I'm accumulating my points and it's also building towards status. Now, if I'm flying from New York to LA, LA to Miami, Miami to Seattle, whatever, cross country, or even better, if I'm taking a flight from Atlanta to Paris or from Atlanta to Rio de Janeiro, you need to be making sure that you're not going for that cheaper flight because that's a lot of points that you're going to leave on the table. It's also a lot of points that, or I guess the measurements of how they have you build up towards status. You're leaving a lot of that on the table. Don't leave anything like that on the table. That's how you're going to accumulate your points to be able to travel. Now, people have families and kids and everything, and a lot of times it's the cheapest route to go. So just keep in mind that you may pay a little bit more now, but if it means being able to get 4 or 5 free tickets later on, it could be worth it. So it's just something to keep in mind, okay? All right, so credit cards. All right, let's talk about credit cards. So good credit cards are going to give you, for every dollar you spend, at least 1 point, okay? So depending on your spending habits. Now, I don't recommend anybody going into debt in order to travel. What I do for myself is whatever I have to pay on a normal basis, cell phone bill, whatever utilities I can pay with a card, whatever it may be, I'm going to pay those and then pay that right off. That's just how I manage my money. I'm not going to go out and buy stuff and then not be able to afford it. Now, everybody's pockets are different, and I suggest that you do what's best for you. But in this case, if you have expenses and you have cash to pay off those expenses, instead of paying in cash or your debit card, I would say put it on the credit card, pay it right off. That way you're going to get your points. So, for example, if you need to go out and get a new MacBook, $2,500, you got the cash, you just got paid, you're ready to go out there and you're ready to buy it, versus paying for it with a debit card, put it on a particular credit card. And then that way you're going to get 2,500 points just like that. So it's the one-on-one ratio. Now, some other, let me add this real quick. Ooh. All right. So now some other credit cards will give you a better ratio than a one-on-one. Okay, so that's just one thing that you have to look for. And it will also give you bonuses for, say, if you eat at a certain restaurant, if you shop at a certain store, if you do streaming services and you bill your streaming services to it. So you can get bonus points that way. The other big thing that I would say, and this is probably the best thing out there to accumulate points fast, is bonus points. Bonus points. So what exactly are the bonus points? So some of you may receive in the mail where it says spend $3,000 in 3 months and we'll give you 60,000 points. All right. So with this, I would suggest timing it right, timing it around a time where you know that you're going to have to spend a lot of money. If you have a car repair coming up, if you have back to school shopping that you have to do, if it's that time of year for you to have to I don't know, whatever it is that you have, time it around that time period. Get into a bonus credit card offer, choose a good credit card with a really good offer. Now, sometimes people will have referral fees or referral links that they can give you. Matter of fact, I have a couple, and I am going to drop them down in the description of this video. And on a side note of that, if anybody that's watching this video, if you have a referral fee for something that's good as far as travel goes, please put it in the comments because it may be something that I'm not aware of that I would like to partake in as well. And then that way you get something, I get something, and then we're all happy. So now back to the bonuses. You can take these bonuses and it's like a quick come up, because if you get 60,000 points, and let's say that each point is 1% in dollar worth, right? So if you get 60,000 points, that's $600. So what can you do with $600? That could potentially be what, $100 room, 6 nights. That could be a $600 flight to who knows where, and then therefore you save. Now you lose one of those expenses, right? So you can accumulate, and that's like the best way to like grab a bunch of points. Now I want to say just randomly run out here and open up credit cards with every single body. You have to be very careful with that because some companies have, I think it's called like the 524 rule, to where you can only open up 5 cards within 24 months, and they're checking for it. So if you do that and you hit that 5 mark, then you can't open up any additional cards. Um, so I would say be very smart about how you do this and who you open up the cards with. Um, and is make sure that there's good benefits along the way, because you don't want to open up a card and then cancel a card. You don't want to like keep doing that over and over again. But anyway, bonus points is where it's at. I highly recommend getting a good card with a good bonus. Um, and I mean, that kind of like sums up the bonus part of it. Now, there is one more thing that I want to add under credit cards, and that is going to be co-branded versus regular cards. Okay. Now, what's the difference? Okay, so your co-branded cards are partnerships between two different companies. Your regular card is a bank, okay, and they have their card. So I'll give you an example. Again, I'm going to use Delta because I like Delta. Delta has a partnership with American Express. Okay, so if I spend money on that Amex card, if I spend money with Delta and use that Amex card, I get like double the points because I'm buying stuff with Amex. There's also other benefits to where some of those co-branded cards will help you to get status. Marriott does it, Hilton does it. Almost every major airline and major hotel company will have some kind of a co-branded card with another company. I don't have anything against co-branded because, like I said, I have one. I would say this: if you go with a co-branded card, make sure that is the company that you want status with, um, that you're going to stay with the majority of the time. If you're not going co-branded, then go specifically with a bank card that gives you good points. And the reason that you want to do this is because a lot of times those bank cards, you can transfer the points that you accumulate from them over to like certain airlines or certain hotels or travel services. Chase has a really good program. American Express has a really good program. You can transfer those points to certain companies. Okay, so it's something to be mindful of. I'll touch on it in a little bit. I want to wrap this part of it up. Okay, so just keep that in mind with that. Next thing we're going to cover is going to be the shopping extensions. This is going to be fun because I know a lot of people haven't heard or they're not familiar with this. So I'm going to give you a way to kind of like double up, maybe triple up, quadruple up on your points. All right, so we talked about the flights, hotels, we talked about credit cards, right? All right, so let's just say we'll open up a new browser real quick. Not a new browser, but we're going to back off of that. And let's say you have an Amex card, right? No, we're going to say that you have like a Sky Miles account. We're going to say you have a Sky Miles account with Delta, and you accumulate points, right, by when you buy something. So if I go to, let's say, Dick's Sporting Goods, man, I'm giving like everybody free advertising. Anyway, um, let's say you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, right, and you're shopping online. You normally shop online for Dick's because you're an athlete or you look for athletic gear. So you go to Dick's Sporting Goods and you know that you want to buy something. So credit card, you use it, you get points, right? So you spend $50, you get 50 points because you use it. Now watch this. So we go Dick's Sporting Goods. Now pay attention over here, and here we go. Now some of you are familiar with Rakuten, right? And that's fine. Rakuten is good. I love Rakuten. All right, so that's cash back. Now you see these other ones over here that pop up. You have Delta, you get an additional 0.5 miles for what you spend on top of what you get on the credit card points. For American Airlines, you get $1. For, let's see, Southwest, you get 0.5. So there's not much here that you're going to actually get for this. But let's say we use another one. So another good company that we could probably use, let's go with Macy's. Here we go. Here's Macy's. All right, let's see what pops up for Macy's. So you can see these over here are doing their thing. They're working. And looks like it's taking a little longer to pop up for some reason. So this may not be the best example. All right, let's try somebody else. I wish I had somebody here with me because I don't really like to shop. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Ah, cool. All right. So Rakuten pops up. You get activate 2% cash back. We're gonna kick off of that because we don't need it. We also have Honey on here. We have Lolly on here, which is cryptocurrency. And then bam. All right, so we have the same 3 people that we had before. All right, so Macy's pops up. 1.5 miles, 2 miles, 2 miles. So you pick who you want to fly with. What these are called up here are extensions in the Chrome browser. You can go to your Chrome browser, search for the extension that you want to download, and you download it. Anytime that you're shopping online on your computer and you go to one of these particular websites, these will automatically pop up for you and you can click to activate one of them. So I'm going to go with say I don't care which one, I'm just going to go with the highest one. But since I like to travel international, I'm going to go with AA. So once I click activate, it'll run you through this whole little system right here because it's updating onto your account. And it'll let you know exactly what's, where you're getting 2 points for and what you're getting 1 point for. And then it kicks you back in over here and then you're ready to shop. Now, as long as you don't leave this browser, you will get those points. Now, you can do this. They will send you emails when you're signed up for this, like the shopping links. You can do it through email. You can do it through other sources, but it is so much easier just to remember to shop on your computer and you download these extensions. And it's like an instant reminder versus me having to remember, did I have an email for it? Do I got to find the link? Let me find the link. Let me go through the link and do all of that. Here is just a few clicks. And if Rakuten is your thing and say Rakuten is doing like cash back at like, I don't know, 7% or something like that, if that's your thing, you can do that. So here's one thing that I'll give you, and I just found this out recently. With Rakuten, if you have an American Express card, has to be a regular American Express card, so either the platinum, the gold, or the green one, and you're signed up for their point system, you can actually opt in on Rakuten to have all your points all your cash back earnings that you accrue sent over to American Express and transferred into points. So I just found that out, had no idea that was possible. So there's another tidbit of information for you. Now, the only other thing that I want to talk about now is really spending points. And before I do that, I'm going to give you guys one more thing. And I'm not as familiar with it, but again, you're on YouTube, so you can definitely look this up. It's called manufacturer spending. I'm not going to go into detail with it. I'm going to let you guys look that up. But I have heard of some people using it to their advantage and being able to rack up thousands of points, whether it's for cashback purposes or for travel purposes. So real quick, just to touch on spending points, you're going to use basically 2 places. You're either going to use a credit card portal. So if you're using like Chase or American Express, you can book your flights through them and use your points through them. Or you can use the travel websites. So when I say travel websites, I mean like Delta's website, American Express, Marriott, Hilton, whoever you fancy. You can use their websites to book the points through them. If you have points on a credit card website, you can transfer those. You can transfer those over to some websites, but not all websites. So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. So again, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope this was helpful and kind of give some insight. You can definitely jump on social media and shoot us a question. Um, Instagram, Facebook, all those links will be in the description. And if you have any other additional like insights or anything that you want to share, drop those in the comments. I'll definitely take a look at them. Share your links again. And outside of that, man, I wish everybody safe travels and hopefully we have a nice 2022. Hopefully.